What's bonking, guys? This video is something different from what I normally do, and depending on how this goes, I might do more. But I actually just got done watching Neon Genesis Evangelion. So in the video, I say that I just finished Neon Genesis Evangelion, but it was actually, I think I finished it like, I want to say like a week and a half ago, or like 2 weeks ago now. So it's been a little bit. I just haven't been posting anything lately. But yeah, as I said in the video, this is the first like completed anime that I've watched. I said after coming out, but I realized that sounds different, like that. Yeah, so what I meant to say is it's the first completed anime that I've seen in a while. Like I mentioned, Dandadan, that's because I was watching Dandadan as a weekly release, so it wasn't completed, and still isn't. Dragon Ball was the last completed anime I started, but as I said, I haven't finished that one yet. And then before that was One Piece, which I finished One Piece 2 years ago, I believe now, or about a year and a half ago. So, yeah. But, yeah, now I will talk about Neon Genesis Evangelion. And I figured I'd talk about my thoughts on it. And, yeah, so I will say there will be some spoilers, but, yeah. Anyway, so I guess one thing I didn't really like, the story was honestly pretty confusing. Like, especially the end, I don't know, like the ending was very confusing. So another thing is I learned that there's two endings actually. You can watch episode 5 and 6, 25 and 26, and that's technically the ending. Or you can watch the movie End of Evangelion, which is like an alternate ending and apparently like the true ending. And I watched both. I just watched the full show and then I watched the movie. And I can't really say I prefer either definitively. I don't know. Both were kind of unsettling. So, yeah, this show is very sad. In fact, that's why I started watching it, is because I heard it was very depressing. And to be honest, I'm depressed, so I was like, fuck it. May as well try it. Also, you know, I'd seen enough Groomer Misato memes, and I was like, all right, I gotta watch this show. So, Misato's not really a groomer, which, yeah, I won't really get into all that. But that's what I'd been told about her character. And she's not really. She's actually very nice to Shinji. She's actually more of like a proper like parental figure to him, actually. So I don't really get why people talk about Misato like that. I don't know. Maybe that's just in the I heard there's like remakes, I think called like the Rebuild movies or something. So maybe that's just in that. Shinji, I loved him. I actually relate to Shinji a lot, low-key. Like, I found myself cheering for him often, and like I really felt him. A lot of people say he's a wimp. I disagree. Now, obviously, my life isn't nearly as bad as his, but still, just the shit he went through as a 14-year-old, like, he is not a wimp. You know, I feel like people don't give him enough credit. And I think he was great. And, you know, he had some really cool moments in the EVA. I would say that was one thing another thing I didn't really like about Evangelion. There wasn't a lot of humor, and there wasn't a lot of action. And I get it. That's not what the series was about, so I'm not docking points for that necessarily. But when there was action, it hit. Like, you know, the EVA ripping out of... I can't even remember. They fought, I think it was 17 angels. So, it was one of them. The one that was like a void that, like, sucked them up. And then when he, like, ripped out of it and it was playing the beast, like, that shit was cool. And he came out all covered in blood. Like, anytime the EVA 1 did some crazy shit, it was cool. It just didn't happen enough, in my opinion. And, you know, my favorite series is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So, you know, I like action and I like humor, mostly, you know. One Piece is my second favorite. Hunter x Hunter's in my top 5. Baki's in my top 5. You know, Initial D's in my top 5. And fucking Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan and Baki are, like, tied. I can't really pick between those. So those are my favorites. I'm so that should give you, like, an idea of what I like. I like action. I like comedy. Attack on Titan doesn't have comedy, really, unfortunately. But I like action. I like comedy. You know, those are like the main things. I like good characters, of course, you know, cool shit mainly, and funny shit. So, Evangelion fell a little short for me. Rei, I didn't really like her character. I thought I was going to like her. I've seen memes about her, and she seemed cool. And I did not really like how distant she was. Like, I don't know, she just... I mean, she wasn't horrible. Like I didn't actively dislike Rei. I think had I not had preconceived notions going in, I don't think I would have minded Rei. But I had basically... I went in believing that I was really going to like Rei, and I don't know, she was okay. Asuka, I didn't like. Her backstory, I, like, made it understandable for why she acts the way she does, but still, the way she acts is obnoxious. Her and Shinji are kind of supposed to be mirrors, and I think Shinji handles his trauma much better. Now, is that because I relate to him and I handle my trauma like him? Maybe. In fact, probably. You know, I feel Shinji, whereas Asuka, I just find her annoying. Like, I get it, you're hurting, but like, damn, the way she acts is just, it's annoying. And yeah, as I said, Misato, you know, she was nice, she was cool, I liked her character, honestly. She was also pretty tragic, and we see her own way of coping. I will say, I have a personal thing against alcoholics, so I also went into it knowing I might not like her because she's an alcoholic, but she actually was pretty reasonable while drunk. She wasn't a bitch, so I didn't hate her. And yeah, she was actually like pretty cool. I kind of liked her. And like just a lot of the other characters were tragic. Like Ritsuko, I think was her name, if I remember correctly. She was just a really tragic, sad character. Like I felt really bad for her. Like I felt like she had just nothing going for her. There was the whole thing with her mom and about her being used by Nerve and all that shit. Like damn, that was sad. And fucking Shinji's dad. I didn't like him at first, but honestly, you know, I think he doesn't make it clear, but there's points in this series where it seems like he does love and care about Shinji. In fact, in the end, he outright says that he believed that abandoning Shinji was best for the both of them. He didn't want to get close to him. So, yeah, you know, I don't hate him. The music was pretty good, and yeah, those are the only real things I can think of that I have to say about it. It was good. I honestly, actually, after watching the show, I feel a little happier, to be honest. I don't know, I guess I feel comforted by, like, seeing, like, the way Shinji acted and everything. Like, you know, I think it was a good show. I didn't love it, but it was good. I would recommend it. I don't know. It's strange. I think I see why people will say it's so depressing and, like, only depressed people like it. I feel like if you're happy, it might not... I don't know. I feel like if you're happy, either the show will make you depressed, or maybe it won't really hit. I don't know, because I do know a lot of people call Shinji a wimp, and I really don't understand how someone could say that, but that's just me. I don't know. It was good. It was enjoyable. Part of me kind of wants to watch it again just to try and understand the story more. Another thing is I'm not religious, you know, so I know it was clearly heavily based in religion. Like, I think Evangelion is even, like, a religious term. And, you know, they fight angels, and the Evas are supposed to be, you know, Eve, and there's Adam, and all that shit. I'm not religious. I don't, like, hate religion or anything. And I know, like, some minor things about it, but I do not follow it myself. So there's also that, you know, if I was religious, maybe I would appreciate it a bit more. Maybe I'd understand it a bit more. I don't know. But, yeah, it was okay. And, yeah, that's really it. I don't know. So maybe I'll do a video going over it. Maybe I won't even post this one. I don't know. We'll see. I just figured I'd voice my opinions. But I hope that you guys like it. If I do end up posting this, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And until next time. And also, now that I finished it, I've been watching the Neon Genesis Evangelion Rebuild movies. I've been pretty slow to watch them. I've only watched one so far. But I am going to watch the other three. So I'll also let you guys know what I think about the differences between those, because the Neon Genesis Evangelion Rebuild movies are also canon, but it's a different timeline. So they have a different ending, and there's some other things that change, so I'm curious to see how that goes.
As Misato interrupted Shinji during his hourly looks maxing session, he asked her a simple question. Are you grooming me because I'm mogging? Or am I mogging because you are grooming me? Absolutely shocked, Misato sat stunned before recomposing herself. She then remembered something Makima asked her in Season 2. If me and you were to have a grooming competition, who would win, me or you?
If you use your powers, you might cause me each other.
But would you lose? She was snapped back to reality by Shinji, who asked her, well, what's your answer?
Nah, I'd groom.
Yeah, I ain't tried one. They say, yeah, you so fly, 'cause I ain't tried one. Got the track off in the back, I heard it once. I told her too many ways, I think I died once.
Hey, Carnage! Do you know Candace?
Alaska, I'm very sorry about the death of your mother. It's all I can hear is condolences.
Thank you for those
I got that adrenaline.